recording. And I'm not going to repeat. So I'm also going to turn on transcription. So for those of you, you should be getting something popping up in the top of your screen that says, who can see this transcript or something like that. And it basically is to help people who maybe are hearing impaired and having a visual. Like I said, I'm a visual person. My hearing's not that impaired yet, but it could be soon. And then when we get into camp, it starts at 9. It ends at either 5 or 9 each day. You all are doing the first half of the day. So you're doing the 9 to 12 shift. And that's what we're talking about here tonight is the actual project-based activities that are going to leave them with some coding skills. So I'm excited about that. I think we talked a little bit about the kits. This is actually a camper login. The only thing different for you, see this login here at the bottom of the screen? The only thing different for you is it would say staff instead of campers. See where it says campers in the middle there? It would just say staff. Next page. And everything is going to be there. Whereas last year I pushed you a lot of forms from RedCap. This year, everything we're going to make available as a form in RedCap where you log into the portal, you log into your dashboard, and you see whatever the latest form is. I will send you notifications too if there's a new form that comes in for you. These are all the links to sign up for the various sessions. So if for whatever reason the links didn't work in whatever email I sent you, or you're having issues, this is the master, and this is where you can register for all your different Zoom sessions. The campers have one that's similar. They just don't have the build and social coach training on it. And please do it at least 24 hours in advance because 24 hours in advance because I'm slow. And so it takes me a while to get in there and make sure everybody gets approved, and we have to manually approve them because for security reasons. Isabella asked if she could get the link to the schedule. So the schedule is actually it's up in Campsite. It's a form in Campsite called Program Overview, Virtual Program Overview and Schedule. So if you are logged into Campsite, that's where you would be able to find it. It's also in the it's also up in the Google Drive, and we may be able to put a link. Yeah, make sure it's the one that's for coaches, okay? Because there are additional links in the one for coaches than are in the one for campers. You've got some instructional stuff whereas they have more stuff that campers would want to know. Yours is more detailed in terms of how to, especially related to the workshops and that schedule that Heidi is showing in one of her, she's showing it in one of her things here. This schedule has a bunch of links in it in the PDF version that you have, and it is not something that we necessarily want to share with campers because that's a lot of proprietary information that's what you're there for, is to make it all work. Next slide. And I think that's pretty much it. The orientation, we talked a little bit about this. Somebody asked the question, am I going to have to do all this in the pink? No. The reason it's in pink is because the instructor is going to lead that portion of it. So Annabelle will take us through the portions that are in pink, and then the yellow portion. So from what time is that? 5:30 to 6 o'clock, or however long it takes, because some kids get it done real quick. It may actually be less time than that if we can get through the camp fundamentals quickly, and get through the Qualcomm world of work pretty quickly. You get to spend more time with your campers in breakout groups. And there you're really going to talk to them. And we'll go through that as we get into the social coach piece of this, what you're going to be talking to them about during the orientation. And then they'll break and they can come back. So I won't go into the rest of the schedule in detail. I think we need to go into, what's the next slide? Go back to the presentation. Yay. Yeah, so, being on time, really important. We want to make sure that we send this message, 8:30, I'm going to be online at 8:30. If you show up at 8:45, basically it's going to be an opportunity for you to hear if anything happened or any issues are arising that we need to be concerned about. So if you're there by 8:45, that's fine. And then your schedule is really 8:45 till 12. And what I am encouraging the coaches, on screen most of the time. That does not mean you always have to be on screen, but on screen most of the time. And we want the campers on screen most of the time. So when I talked about good cop and bad cop, yeah, we're talking about somebody that's going to have to be the one that says, okay, you got to get on screen, or everybody, let's take a picture or something to bring people back into the room. We did this last year, naming convention. Mary I, what am I? I don't even know what I am. Assistant. I don't know what I am. So, breakout room 1 or Mary, I think adult coach. That's what it was. A was adult. I'm like A for acting. I don't know. Adult coach, breakout room 1. So you will be assigned breakout rooms, and we're going to, as we go through the splitting the tasks that need to be done in the different breakout rooms, and we assign who does what. There will be one coach in each room who will be the editor for your room, for lack of a better term. And we will make sure that we give them access to all the information that they need, editor access to all of the information that they need related to your campers. And so that's going to be pretty important for us to be able to figure out who that is and who is. So that takes kind of the load off people who maybe are a little less tech savvy than others, to not have to worry. They aren't going to have to do that. We'll make sure one person or two people, you can share the duties, are assigned to that. Taking attendance is going to be really important. We're going to try and take that load off of you. We used a Google form last year. Coaches and students will all be encouraged and given that Google form at the end of the session. But at the same time, we are going to go into each of the rooms and make sure that everybody is in attendance at some point during the day. This is a little different than a residential camp where, as you know, when you go to camp, you're kind of stuck there anyway. So it's not like you have to take attendance all the time. This one is a little different because you can not show up, and we need to know that you are there or not there. We encourage you to use Jamboard, Menti, any other tools that you want to use in the breakout rooms to either do icebreakers. If you've got ideas for icebreakers and things that you can do with the campers, talk about them when you go into your breakout room for the tonight when we have our breakout room break. Next one. And this, I think we're tweaking some of these right now, these links, to make sure that they're going to the right place, but there will be links in this presentation to training materials. So if you want to go and do a little bit more digging on things to see what's what, you'll be able to find it here. And there's a lot of video clips and PDFs that we have been able to find over the course of the last 2 years to help you understand more on the tech side than on the device construction side. Next. And our coaches are, I think we're getting into, this is old. So these are old training videos, but you're welcome to review these too, if you want. We're going to give you more information than you probably ever wanted or ever needed. So you can choose which pieces you want. Next.
That's the last slide.
That's the last slide. So now what do you have, Heidi and Annabelle? Let's bring them up. I'm going to pin you, the two of you. And let me find Annabelle. There she is. Did you pin her? Let's see. I thought I had her. Thought I had you, and then you disappeared. Pin. Add pin. There we go. Okay. So what have you got to share, Heidi and Annabelle?
You want to go, Heidi?
I think you should go first, and
Okay.
then maybe I think it'd be good if you went first, then we do breakout rooms maybe, and then I go last. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's good. All right. So hi, everyone. I'm Annabelle. I'm the social instructor for this camp. I'm going to be quickly going over what social coaches should expect from this camp, what they are expected to do inside the breakout rooms. So without further ado, I'm just going to go through a bunch of different bullet points to lead you through the schedule for this coming week. And then we'll go from there. So if you have any questions after this meeting or during, I'm available for using my email, which I'll include in the chat at a later time. So for social coaches, your main job, which pretty much kind of encompasses the entire job of all of the coaches, actually, not just social coaches, is to keep the campers involved and engaged. So this could be through discussions, encouraging their curiosity and their ideas through discussion. So like Dr. Mimi explained before, Jamboard is a super cool Google Drive function that you guys can use for brainstorming, discussion. Just being there for the girls is super important, being available to them for their if they have questions, comments, concerns. I know from previous experiences that being available through email is super important. I know that some girls will have trouble getting together their coding and don't want to speak up during breakout rooms. It's your job to make them, not make them, but kind of encourage them to feel comfortable in the environment over Zoom. So get to know them. That's another one of the big things. The discussions don't have to be just about coding, about robotics, what you guys are doing in the breakout rooms. So for some of the schedule, which I will show you in a second, there are big blocks of where you guys are just working individually on your wearable tech. Those times are good times to put together some just discussions about the girls' interests. So let's say there's just a time where you guys are working individually. You can bring up like one of your interests, like let's say you went camping or something, or you like camping, you can bring up camping. And if any of your girls in your breakout rooms enjoy camping, it just doesn't have to be just about robotics. Now that just being said, we would like you guys to stick pretty closely to the schedule that we have provided you guys. Of course, it's okay if you like kind of lag behind a little bit. We'll adjust accordingly if you guys fall behind. But that being said, we would like you guys to stick to the times. So if there's a lot of information you need to cover in a specific amount of time, we'd like for you guys to prioritize that over discussion. But that being said, we would love for you guys to make those emotional connections with your campers, make them feel encouraged to share their ideas and innovate. Yes, I'm just going to share my screen and share the schedule. I'll go over quickly what the social coaches will be doing. Okay, So this is orientation. So I will be in charge of the first like hour or so. So you don't have to worry about that. But going into breakout rooms at 5:30, it looks like social coaches will be leading breakout group intros. So like those icebreakers that Dr. Mimi mentioned. Whatever ideas you may have for a icebreaker, you can discuss more thoroughly in your breakout groups after while we do the breakout rooms today, actually. And then you will also be going over the how to do the Flipgrid introductions for the campers. Before
just a comment here. And if anybody says, "Oh, I don't know anything about icebreakers," I mean, we can help you with doing some icebreakers, but Google it. So yeah, do some research on it. See if you can find something that could be fun.
There's lots of different ideas on Google that you can look up. I mean, if you just look up icebreakers, there's a whole list of different fun activities that you can do with your girls really quickly. You have like 30 minutes to do all of this stuff, so take some time to get to know the girls in your group. And then you can go over how to do Flipgrid. So before orientation, we'd like all of the coaches to do their own Flipgrids, which we'll go over in a second. I think either Alexis or Tara already put in the Flipgrid link in the chat. So you can do that on your own time. Just before orientation, we'd love to have you guys do your own introductions. If you are returning, I'm sure you know how to use Flipgrid. Just kind of introduce yourself, name, breakout room, and a little bit about yourself, how you're involved in AAUW and how you got involved in Tech Trek, why you decided to get involved in Tech Trek is a good discussion point. Just a little bit about yourself. Have a little fun with it. Going into the first day, the first part will be covered by me, I believe, and then the second part, sustainability and team name and sustainable goals.
I'm not going to throw you out there to dry, Annabelle. So yeah. I'll do the first 5 minutes of intro, and then you take it from there.
Okay, cool. Thank you. I appreciate that. So going into breakout rooms after 9:30, social coaches will be going over sustainability, our sustainability theme, which we went briefly over during the Qualcomm training earlier in May.
Just to add something really quickly,
yeah,
I'm so sorry for interrupting.
No, don't worry.
We will be providing you with the slides in case you don't remember anything. So don't worry about that.
And then team names and sustainable goals. So the UN has some sustainable goals that you guys will be going over in your breakout rooms. And from there, your group will decide which sustainable goal you want to focus on for the week and decide a team name collectively about that sustainable goal. I believe that's the only things that you guys, hardware Q&A. Oh, nope, that's the build coaches. That's not you guys. So I believe that's it that you guys are needing to do for Monday in your breakout rooms. For Tuesday, I don't think you guys need to do anything. A lot of it will be on the build coaches. So if the build coaches need help, kind of encouraging the girls to keep trying. I know LED and servos are pretty difficult to understand, so just be there to encourage the girls to just keep trying. It's not, you can't be perfect. It takes more than one try. Learn from your mistakes. So just keep encouraging the girls to try their best, keep trying even if they fail. So just help those build coaches in that way. Wednesday, you will be going over SIVs, which you will also be connecting to the What Will I Be career slides that I will be going over briefly before the end of Tuesday. I think you guys will have a slideshow for that as well, which we will provide to you later on before Sunday, I believe. And then going into Thursday and Friday, it's just a lot of device construction, artistic design you will be going over on Thursday. Most of Thursday and Friday will be individual work. This is the perfect time to do some discussion. From previous experience, I found that there was a lot of quiet time during these times. So if you want to strike up a conversation with your campers, get to know them a little more, find what their interests are, like from the SIVs, it kind of gets them thinking about what they want their device to look like. That's the perfect time to do that if there are no questions for the build coaches, I'm sure. And then Friday, there's just a lot of presentation prep, and otherwise, I think that's all I had to say. Did I miss anything?
I think you got everything. I think one of the comments I just want to make, since we have so many people that were here last year,
Mhm.
You have to put $1 in the jar every time you call it a hat instead of a device. Okay. So
Good reminder.
yeah, this is not so think about putting a virtual dollar in the jar. Make a note of it every time you catch yourself calling it a hat. Don't call it a hat. There are going to be still some templates available that if somebody decides that their design wants to look like a hat, that you can help them with that. But everybody's kit is coming in a box, and that box will be the basis of their build. So they're going to use that. We're all about reuse, replace, repurpose, and recycle. And so that's part of the sustainability theme. We want to make sure that we continue echoing that to them throughout the week, that they need to, what materials do you have around your house that you might be able to incorporate in your device, your wearable device? Do we have some examples to show people, Alexis? Didn't we?
Yeah, we do. I can pull it
Why
up right
don't you
now
just
if you want.
grab up 1 or 2 of them just so we can show, because not all the coaches got to see all of that last year either.
And I could stop sharing.
Yeah, thank you.
So I think let's go back to gallery view. I think that's probably the biggest thing this year. The second thing is that, weren't we talking about part of the challenge, Alexis, being, did we come up with the roadmap for the challenges yet?
Yeah, I have the updated one and I can show you that too.
Yeah.
But I believe what you're trying to say is one of the challenges that changed this year is that they have to find a few pieces of reusable materials around their house. And if they can somehow incorporate, like, I think at least 3 pieces into their wearable tech invention, that'll complete one of the challenges.
In a relevant way. Let's call it
right.
Just
it has to
sticking
have
an
a
empty
role.
bottle on top of whatever is it has to tie in with their theme of whatever it is they're doing. And again, this year, and I don't think we did it last year, the breakout rooms are all named after not so famous, some famous, but some not so famous STEMinists, some women in science, technology, engineering, and math who maybe haven't gotten all of the visibility that they probably should have. And so each of your breakout rooms, besides having a number, will have a name of that woman. So you will be assigned to the Cynthia Brazil bunk or breakout room, or the Marie de Pena, or a whole bunch of different other ones. Part of the kids' goal is going to be finding out something about that STEMinist and bringing that into their design too. So we're giving them a bunch of different challenges, which is not unusual from an engineering perspective. And their goal is to optimize and figure out how I can get the most bang. So I like this, repurpose for a purpose. And so I think, and you can give them some guidance on this. Yeah, that works. Nah, I think that's kind of easy. Don't do that one. That doesn't count. Like a somebody finds a piece of bubble gum and decides to stick that on their device. It's like, yeah, no, that doesn't quite do it. And so each day there will be daily challenges as we had done last year. Any questions for the social coaches for Annabelle or? Yes, you're on mute, Roseanne. You're still on mute. There you go.
Okay, so where do we find the challenges? She's going to send that to us so that we have them when we talk with the girls about the.
Yes, we'll be
Yeah.
sharing everything with you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about how we're gonna go.
Mary, I have a quick one on the Flipgrid. When we do our recording, is there a platform that it just uploads to that we select?
It will automatically, it'll ask you, it'll ask whether you want to upload it. Here, I'll show you real quick. Whether you want to upload or, let me see which one I have open. Pick this one. See if I can find it. What are you seeing right now? Are you seeing my
Explore Zoom products.
You're seeing what?
Explore Zoom products, purpose-built hybrid tools.
Okay, this one here. Yeah. It's always hard for me to figure out which ones you're actually seeing. So Flipgrid.
There you go.
So that one that she gave you should be the link that I think they put in there should bring you to this point right here. And I'm looking for the add. I don't know if I can get it into it with the thing, add the first response. And so when you add the first response, yeah, it's going to tell me. So it's going to try to use your camera, whatever your camera is. If you're on Zoom, you can't do it, right? So that's why campers had to go off Zoom to record their videos and come back on. So, but the other option is you can record it ahead of time on your phone or whatever, and then import the video.
Oh, okay.
So you can pre-record and then you just upload a video. You click this and it'll prompt you to find it on your computer somewhere. You know, here I could create it ahead of time or on your phone. It'll be the same option on your phone if you're doing it on your phone. And then I can upload it from here, find whatever. It tells you what the MP4 movie, M4V, a whole bunch of different movie type files you could upload.
Okay.
So that piece of it should be pretty easy.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So we have 2 builds and 2, yeah, I see a BC and 2 SCs. Perfect. Yes, you're all set. Cool. Glad to see you all back again this year. Thanks for coming back.
That's fun.
Yeah. I'm gonna go visit others. Yeah, so the one thing she didn't have an opportunity to explain, and I'll have to share that with Divya and Adriana. In the sections where you see like the build instructor, she's taking the part on the bottom, and you would, or the build coaches would take the part on the top. So same with the one where you do the LED blink, she's going to introduce it and then you're going to take them into the breakout room and work with them on trying to make sure theirs works. So those are, there's like an extra spot. She didn't know quite how to make it work correctly, but, and the same thing with the one on the LED and servo coding and LED and servo building. It's basically she'll show you how to do it, and then you'll take them into the room and work with them individually.
Okay.